I'm Jason DeVore with the band Authority Zero, and this is my first concert. Taking it back to the summer of 1990 for my first concert. It was a big deal to me. I was huge into music. I was huge into actually rock, hair metal kind of stuff. Talking Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Ugly Kid Joe even. So my first concert was that summer. My dad had taken me out in Phoenix, Arizona to a big stadium show for my first concert, and it was Def Leppard and Ugly Kid Joe and Red Cross. It was probably one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. I was really big into listening to music and being around music, but I'd never actually been to a show before and seeing it live. And seeing it live changed my life forever. It was actually one of those things, those moments that you just knew what you wanted to do as a kid. You wanted to be a big rock star. There was all the pyros, all the lights, all the big LED screens and everything going on, up in the stadiums, and just tons of people cheering and screaming, and it just it changed my life. It was just a lot of excitement in the air and live music that I'd never seen in that way before. So it was really cool. But fast forward 5 years, and I was about 11 years old then, I think. Fast forward about 4 years. About 15 years old, I live in Evanston, Wyoming, across the border from Salt Lake City, Utah. My friends and I sneak out to go across the border to go to a punk rock show. This is my first punk rock show. It was at a club called the Deviate, and the band was the Joy Killer, which is also the singer Jack Grisham is a singer of TSOL, so if you haven't heard of them, check them out as well, but I didn't know that at the time either. So I go to this concert with my friends. It's down in the basement of this place called the Deviate. It's a little club, and it holds about 200 people maybe. There's about 100 people at the show that night, and it was just the first circle pit I'd seen. There was a circle pit going on, and it was just madness, and I loved it. I fell in love right away. The band on stage was going crazy, having a great time, and taking the clothes off and getting weird, and it just intrigued me a lot. It was really quite a spectacle. We got in the pit, we had a good time. It was my first time in a mosh pit. And at the end of the show, the singer, Jack Grisham, is walking off the stage, and the place is cleared out at this point. He's walking back toward the green room, which we now know it's a band. What the green room is, it's a little box in the corner of the back of the club if you're lucky. Sometimes it's a coat closet. But he was on his way walking back there, and I got the balls up to grab a piece of garbage off the ground and run up to him. And I asked him, I tapped him, I was like, hey man, would you mind signing my piece of garbage for me? And he's like, oh, hey little buddy, you don't have any stickers? I was like, oh buddy, I got no money. No, I'm sorry, thanks though. This will be fine. And he's like, hold on 1 second. So he ran backstage and came back out with 5 stickers, one of them that was signed with his autograph on it, and the other 4 were for my friends just to pass out and do whatever with. But I always thought that was the coolest thing, that he did that for me and took his time to take the moment to do that whole deal. And I'd always said that if I was ever in a band when I grew up of any valor, that I would be that kind of a guy as a singer in a band or anybody playing in the band to my fans in general. So that really stuck with me throughout the years, and it still has to this day. Fast forward from there to Warped Tour 2000, I think in 16, maybe 17. No, probably 16. Our band was playing Warped Tour, and TSOL was playing Warped Tour as well, and so we were back in the green room area, the actual green room area this time, behind a big amphitheater, and we were in the lunch line. I was in the lunch line, and I saw a guy in front of me, a bigger guy in some golf clothes, and he turned his head sideways, and I realized it was Jack Grisham. I tapped him on the shoulder again. I was like, hey man, you're Jack, right? From the band The Joy Killer. And he paused and looked at me. He was like, The Joy Killer? He's like, man, I haven't heard that band name in ages. He's like, half those guys are dead, or I just haven't talked to them in forever. So I told him my whole story about back in the day at the Deviate in Salt Lake City, and he was just blown away, and he thought it was a really cool thing. And so we ended up having lunch that day, and I just kind of talked with him a little more. That was my first concert experience, both in the rock and roll area as well as the punk rock scene. So I'm Jason DeVore with Authority Zero. Thanks for listening. Cheers.